stuff today. Using my cruddy headphones because I gotta charge my phone and all that good stuff. I'm just gonna tweak this a little bit here. Tweak. There we go. All right, so I got a bunch of forks. We're gonna toss these in the forge and we're gonna make some snails for kids. You know, fun stuff. Only made one. Turned out okay. So we're gonna just kind of give it a whirl again. Just realizing I don't want it that way. Just kind of a trick figuring out exactly how this is best to be done. And I don't know what these forks are made out of, so I don't know how bad it would be. Ooh, this one's crazy thin. Maybe I want to start with bigger ones here. I got kind of a weird setup too. I've got a big weld project going on, so now everything's kind of turned the wrong way. So we're gonna be kind of fighting around with a couple things, but that's fine. I'll grab my water bucket over here in case we have an accident. So. It's because the stuff is so thin too. Yeah, that one, see, I don't even know what this material is. Probably something real cheap. All right, just about ready. So basically all I'm gonna do, I'm making let me grab another fork here. Yeah, so I grabbed a bunch of cheap forks from a thrift store. And I saw another blacksmith do this online where he was just talking about just repurposing with, with different metal materials. And but he was making these little snails. It was kind of cool. And I'm like, hey, like it'd be fun to try and throw some of those together. And then I got an event coming up in September outdoors with a lot of people around, a lot of kids, because I want to get a lot of kids kind of excited about something like this. Blacksmith, and it'd be cool if I had a big box full of these forks, all different types of forks. They could go and pick one out, bring it over, and we'll make a snail for them. It'd be kind of cool. So I don't know anything about some of this material. Wait, no. So first we start by just, okay, so there we go. We're learning something already. I don't know what that was, but that just broke. So that's a piece of garbage right there. So we're just going to go ahead and grab that. And for all you, so it's got to be cast, some kind of cast, something or the other. For all you smarter people out there, let me know what that material is. Put in another one. All right, let's try that again. Go this way. So I'm just going to start by curling that end around right there. I'm just going to loop this all the way up to make the shell of the snail. trying to keep that as uniform as I can. The nice thing about these too is it doesn't have to be too crazy kind of perfect as far as that spiral goes. We just want to make a fun, unique kind of design. Let's see this one. Every one of these is just going to be kind of a weird fight. They are, depending on the material here. This one's like super thin and super wonky. Oh man, I almost wonder if that's going to be best to just use my pliers right away and just start coiling that up. This material on this one is so thin. I'll pop you back in. The other thing I need to make too is a jig for doing these scrolls. So we're curling it a little bit more, so we'll go ahead and just pop that back. This one's like, whatever fork this is made out of, that's solid. So now I'm just going to, on this one, I'm just going to try and just start coiling it right up like so. Yeah, that one's super, super, super. Now the trick too is just making sure that's all even. So we're coiling that way up. I don't really like how some of that's already touching there. So just a little off. All right, so I think that's what I'm just going to run with for now. So now it's going to go back in the other way so we can start working on the antenna and the feet and all that. Or not antenna, what's the snail thing's called? No idea. So we'll go ahead and pop that back in. That one will be finished off pretty quick. This one we're just going to keep rolling right up here. Not horrible. Not horrible. I mean, because the fork has that tapered handle, it all kind of wants to get away from you as soon as you start tapping anywhere on the thing. I kind of like this one. It has the design on the fork is kind of cool. I don't know how well you can see that here. Probably not well. Yeah, so there's like these crosses that go all the way through the knife handle. So that one, I think we're good too. It's got to remember how far it should coil up. We'll start like that. We'll see how these two look. Maybe we'll change the other ones moving forward here. So the next step on both of these, this is where it goes really fast now. So now I'm going to take this here, roll this up. Like so. And then I'll probably just have to pop it right back in because those prongs, they cool down so quick. On this last part, I could probably just use like a propane tank, or I mean one of those little torches. Oof. Easy does it, easy does it. All right, so there's that second one. So this is how the snail is going to look. We're getting close. I might need to try another set of tongs as well here. It's a little tricky. All right, let's go ahead and line this one up here. Another thing on my list is making a nice set of scroll tongs that are not just my cheap needle nose pliers here. Okay, so we got the little feet done. We're getting there. Little feet are done. So I'm just going to twist the, the things, the things on the snail. All right, let's go ahead and do this one here. Perfect. There we go. Second one done. Put that back in. That's the nice thing too. If I can get this down to making one of these in less than, I don't know, a few minutes. A kid comes over, finds his fork. I think we just want to. All right, there we go. There's our there's our little snail. Nothing too crazy. Is it something kind of fun to do out of a repurposed fork? There are, thousands of forks at the thrift store. Let me just cool this off. Drop all my other tools. Like I said, I got kind of reorganizing here. I got junk just everywhere. So, all right, here we go. This is what, for those people that are just joining in now, I have an event coming up this next month, and I have a lot of the regular stuff I sell. But the purpose of me going out and doing this is when I work at the farmers markets, everyone comes up to my booth and like, oh my goodness, like blacksmithing is a lost art. They've never seen anything like it. They don't know where to go to find people that are blacksmithing. And so this next event, there'll be hundreds of people and a lot of kids. And I'm like, how cool would it be to have a box of these old forks? Like I got a stack of these old forks. They can pick one out, come over, and we'll just make a fun little snail. It's not an exact perfect snail, but kids have imaginations and they can pick their own little fork. And so yeah, that's what we're rolling with. I'm not gonna. I'll try and look at some of the feed here, but I'm just gonna do a short. I'm just jumping on for a little bit today, just to try and throw some of these together. So, all right, so we'll keep cracking on these, see if we can keep making some. So hey, there's one in the books right there. We're making snails today. Little snails out of forks. So that's one down. Let's keep rolling here. That one's probably way done. All right. So we'll bring these two back. I like the long prongs on this one, though. There we go. Let me to fix that. I don't know how perfect they need to be, but I'll wash that one off here. Cool her down, rather. All right, here's the second one. They're kind of like this one. It has like this pattern that goes down the shell of the snail. And yeah, there you go. Nothing fancy. I mean, it's not, you can see there, it's, get to the wall. That's not a perfect, kind of snail shape, but it's fun. I'd like to get this done really, really nicely and, kind of tight. It makes a nice symmetrical spiral, but that's what we're doing today. We're practicing, as long as it's not too wonky, but yeah, there we go. Let's throw a couple more forks in. All right, let's see what we got here. Got a couple more big ones. But here, I'll grab some before I throw any more in. I'll show you what we got here. Some of these already feel like they're probably going to be garbage. So we'll see. I didn't know I don't really know what I'm looking for. But I mean, yeah, you got this fun one right here. It's got this diamond cut out of there, and it's got like a flower on it. This one's just kind of normal. You all probably had a fork like that before, right? You have all this fancy. But like, man, like how cool would it be though? We'll coil that up, and that'll be the shell for the snail. Here we got kind of a chubby fork here. This was another one with design. But yeah, so that's how fun would it be though to have a box of these for kids to come up and grab which one they want. They can have a nice, unique kind of snail. And now, as I'm already learning, not all forks are created equal at the thrift store. So yeah, that's a thing. Pop in a couple more. Yeah, the first one I made, I actually made it out of where I used my. They got these butane torches or whatever they are, but the yellow is supposed to burn a lot hotter, and so I just turned it on and sat here and kind of formed one. So I might bring that to the event as well, because I'll be making a lot of stuff. I don't have a very large forge. You can kind of see it out of the side there. So I'm going to have like a few bottle openers I'm doing at a time and some hooks and whatnot. So part of me is like, hey, what if I just bring this? I just turn it on, and then I can kind of make the fork right here and just kind of heat up, just do one at a, because I'm only doing one at a time anyway. And so I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably bring that though. But I mean, the nice thing obviously about the forge is, I mean, these things they're ready to go. They are hot. So the torch, even for a fork, still took a little bit. So start rolling this one over here. So I'd like to get almost a nice, so here's a nice big swoop is kind of what I almost want to go with. See, it's already, material is so flimsy. I'm gonna try one with just one kind of big, there we go. Okay, so here's one I want to try too. So it's just one big circle, and then you can see the design on the top right there. So we're gonna see how that one works out. Maybe try and, as it cools down, it's probably a good time to hit some of the imperfections out of it. Yeah, there we go. I like that one. It's fun too, as my wife, she loves plants. Our house is full of plants, and so I made one of these, and I'll put them kind of around her, in and around her plants. It's kind of fun, it's those little homemade things. And you could say we sell these things for, I don't know, $5 or something to throw together. It makes for a fun way to decorate your house, and especially if I'm down there making them right before your eyes, you can kind of see how they're made. And I know it's definitely something we've lost, in this day and age. Seen some of that homemade stuff from these old old arts here. So let's put that one back in. I think I'll try the same thing with this other fork here if I can grab it. See this one too. I wonder if this is going to be junk. Oh, nope, it's good. Yeah, this the closer I get to that to the neck of the knife, it just bends so easily. So that's going to be the trick. A lot of it too is probably, unless I had a special jig to make these, just got to let my OCD rest a little bit, and let it be a little imperfect. See, it's already jogged all over because it was not as hot. And then you get this part, and you're like, oh, how do you straighten it back out, you know? So we're gonna, I think the rest of that, I'll pop that back in because I want to curl that spiral a little more on that one. All right, so this next one, in my, these don't work with stuff this small either. So we're gonna go ahead and coil up some feet here. Yeah, if I had a nice pair of scroll tongs, that'd make this a whole lot easier. This needle nose pliers is just kind of fighting. You don't have a lot of purchase on the material. So there we go. We got one little foot. We'll pop that back in. Like I'm saying, on the prong side of this thing, I could have this the torch out. It would go so quick. All right, let's see how much I can botch this one up again here. There we go. I'm just going to roll you right up. Yeah, all right. Actually, that didn't come out too bad. A little close. Oh, a little closer here. I'm falling all over my place. So yeah, there's the shell of our snail. That actually came out okay. Really don't mind that one. So I'll spin that around and pop it back in, ready for some feet. All right, let's go ahead and coil the second foot on this one. Oh man, just grabbing a hold of that in general is not easy. And then I got to be careful not to just stick this thing right in my face or anything. All right, so let's curl those two prongs up there. So there we go. We got our feet done. Now we just got to go ahead and put the little antenna pieces on. You know, before I do this too, I should probably actually learn some of the anatomy of a snail, so don't call them antenna things. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did anybody ever watch that movie? Oh, it's with the snails that raced. I don't know what that was called, but man, like we watched it. My kids were little when that came out, and oh man, so funny. Straightening that out a little bit. Try and make it a little symmetrical and all. Man, this is tough to get in there, that's for sure. All right. This is our really stubby fork here. This is kind of a tricky one, I think. Not so bad. Almost wonder if I could do this quick. I can quick grab the other one. Curl that foot right up. Maybe give them a little bit of a squeeze too, so they. There we go. So funny. They're just hilarious. I thought it'd be kind of neat. I don't know if I'll do this or not. Like on the face where the prongs are at, I have a punch set with all the letters. I'm like, would it be cool for the kids to also pick out, you know, like an initial, or I could probably even get 2 letters on there. So I thought that might be kind of cool too. Oh my goodness, yeah, getting a hold of these things. I need a different pair of tongs. Let's see here. So we're just gonna lightly curl that over, pinch it up. All right, and I think it's kind of fun if they're not perfect. They don't need to be symmetrical. Let me cool that off. I think that's about where I want it. All right, cool off my needles wires too. All right, let's see what we got here. So here's our next one. Yeah, I kind of like, I like, it's hard to see like that. There you go. I do like this, just one big circle for the snail, but then I think it kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, most snails, they have like that really fun kind of coil or spiral. Yeah, there you go. Nothing fancy. Fun about this one too, it's got the design going across the back right there. I don't know how well you can see that. But, you know, it makes it individual for wants to. So there's three. Let's finish up this last one. Well, last one is, I got 5 or so more forks to throw in. So this one, this is like a tiny little prawns here. So quick do that. Tell you what, that grip string, holy cow, this is really giving me a run for my money. All right, well, I like this one. This is a fun one. All right, let's take a look at that one. There you go, look at that. So this one I like. I think I like that better. It has that spiral in the shell. And then he's kind of leaned forward like he's pulling something or racing, who knows. That's fun. You know, these kids, they got, you want to give them something imaginative and something they can take something every day like a fork and they can repurpose it for something else. So let's toss a couple more of these in. Let's see here. Ooh, we got a little one. This one feels super cheap. The nice thing about running propane too is it's going to run that material at a nice constant heat. I think the blacksmith I was watching, I think he was running a coal forge, and obviously if you're not careful, something like that, I mean, you'll melt that fork pretty quick. I've never worked with the coal forge. I'm sure those guys, they know exactly what they're doing, and he did a great job. Or when I saw it, I'm like, I have to make those. It's a fork snail, a snail fork, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's all we're doing today. I have 2, 4, 6 more of these. I'm just practicing right now. All right, let's grab another one. This was fun. I mean, usually I'm making a variety of stuff. I make this. These go pretty quick, which is kind of fun. Yeah, so this one here too is like got all the different thicknesses of material. Man, it's hard just keeping. It's kind of bent all over the place. I mean, it didn't come out too bad. But here again, like this fork was pretty thin, and it's already ready to be tossed back in. Some of these forks are a little bit thicker, and they let me work on it for a little while. Oh yeah, see this fork is so thin. Oh my goodness, it's got to go in everywhere. Oh jeepers. Yep. So this one's probably going to be one for the pliers here. Oof, it's looking pretty awful. I'm making it worse. I think I'll just keep kind of coiling it up and see what happens here. It's going to be a tiny. I gotta botch that one. It's how do you spell that? That's kind of hard to see. I'll go ahead and keep coiling. I'll work with the pliers to see if I could kind of squeeze and make it a little more spirally. That one's, I'm not liking that one, but we'll give it a whirl. Plus the idea too, I grabbed as many different ones of these as I could find, so that way I can see what kind of forks work well for what we're trying to accomplish. So this one, yeah, I don't know. I think what I'll have to do is pop it back in. I want to get that one coiled up. That shell would be so small. So I think I do want large forks. That's just going to be easier in the long run. Got to make more use of my little tool here to pull this stuff in and out of the forge here. So here I'm just going to go ahead and just crimp onto that and just coil it right up. All right. So that's a pretty tight curl in there. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I can, yeah, I better not try too much more. I don't want to make it even worse than what I'm already doing. I just want to push it through a little. There we go. All right, so this one's ready for the feet and antenna, or whatever you want to call it, what have you. Okay, this one I'll coil right up a little more. This is going to be the daintiest one I make, that's for sure. This one is dainty. But I really like it. This one has a lot of, I'll show you when I'm done, but it's got a lot of really cool patterns that actually, now that I'm seeing it, maybe I do actually like this one. I don't know. So pop that in the other way. Like I said, this is one thing I didn't realize how much fun it would be on how fast they go. I'm just going to try and see if I can already start bending while it's just cooling down. I think the other thing I probably need to be careful for as well is with material like this, depending on the type of material the fork is, if it cools down too much, I might just snap it right off. But I'm guessing this is such kind of junk material that it might actually just be fine. But that's why we're playing around. I think I want these, get those little antenna things back a little more. All right, we'll pop that back in. All right, this one's ready for some feet. Of course, snails don't have feet, but whatever. There we go. And then kind of like how that, it's kind of got a fun natural, like another racing shape we're getting out of this guy. So maybe I'll tilt those back a little bit like that. Yeah, there we go. And then I'll do the antenna next here. All right, so almost done with these two. We'll go on to our next one. We just gotta, yeah, we'll leave this one off a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Cool it down. All right, let's see what we got. This one was a pretty plain fork. So there we go. That's kind of fun. Nothing too fancy. The coil on this one didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would. So yeah. All right, let's grab the next one. Man, I got a little row of snails over here. I love it. I love it. I feel like I need a good Bob Ross. There are no mistakes. Just, what does he say? Happy something or the other? It's a pretty bird. What do we do when I messed up something on the snail? It's just a happy kind of mistake. Okay, now that's going to lay like so. I think I want to tilt these back just a little bit. Tilt you back too. It's going to lay like so. Oh yeah, perfect. This one's kind of funny because it's got a, hope I better twist that 10 a little bit. So this one's kind of funny. I'll show you this. This is, but see, this is where the imagination of a child will come in. So this one has really cool designs on all over the spine of the handle of the fork. But then look, I mean, it's a small fork, so look how fat or how wide that base is. And then you got this teensy little, this teeny little snail. It's kind of fun. It's just a cutesy little thing. So yeah, all right, I dig it. Little happy mistakes. Let's grab a couple more. Got 4 more here. Yeah, we got some kind of flowers on that one. No idea. And let's do a. Ooh, let's save that fancy one for last. Let's try this plain one here. All right, that's what I like about this. Usually when I'm putting another product in, it's at least 3/8 thick material. I mean, you gotta sit there for a few minutes for it to go. But with these forks, I mean, it's just you just pop them in and they are ready to go. Just, look at my. Turn that a little bit. Oh, sorry for the wobble there. Sorry for the wobble. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, they are already ready to go. I love it. I love it. Of course, these are more thin forks, so let's see what kind of trouble we have here. Yeah, just then I'm torn. Do I use just the pliers on the whole thing, or do I tap it around? Ooh, I like this one. This one has the flowers. I'll try and keep this one as symmetrical as I can, but that's about it. See, this is the tricky part of it. You can see that's not a nice symmetrical circle. It's where it's kind of getting hot and cold all around. And fixing that's going to be the trick. I can go back, if I heat it back up here, actually that's what I'd have to do. I'd have to throw it back in. So we'll let you warm up a little bit. It's stuck. All right. Try this other one for a minute. Maybe a combination of both things, you know. Nope, that's not working. I need to probably. Just going to toss that back in. And yep, I definitely want long, large forks, very thick ones. These really thin forks, they are a bit of an issue. Okay, that's not too bad. Curl you right up into the fork now. Oh, jeepers. Twisted the whole thing. Yeah, this one is so flimsy. Holy smokes. I think I might I'll let this kind of cool as I go, because I think I'm going to try and tap it around as it's cooling off. That might be a little easier to work with, maybe. Or make it look worse, like I think I've done. This will just be in the freebie pile. Say, here, I'm sorry. Oh, gosh. What do you do? What do you do? My players is not. Man, I really like this pattern on the spoon too, but it's kind of looking a little wonky on me. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. That's what we're doing. We're just gonna roll with it. Just kind of get it the rest of it symmetrical. All right. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, that one didn't want to roll up very well. Like I said, I want to make a scroll jig. It's looks kind of like a gooseneck, and it helps you start your scroll. But I saw a couple ideas where if it's real sharp and going out, you can keep coiling it. So if I just lay the fork over the top, I can just kind of keep tapping it down until it just keeps coiling into itself. So I think that's a nice little fancy scroll jig like that. I think will go a long way. This one, I think I left it a little on. Come on. All right, this one too, I'm gonna use, it's so thin, I'm just gonna, heard a noise from my, hey. My headphones on, and I didn't realize I had the UPS driver there. I heard just woof. But it's just the door. You probably all heard that. That freaked me out. Situational awareness, right? I am failing. Got my headphones in. Okay, so this one also doesn't have quite the, it has just a really kind of botched it, but I'm going to just maybe roll that up a little bit more. It's kind of squashed. It's a real tight curl. But you know what? Maybe I'll toss that back in. Got an idea. All right. So now we're ready for our little feet season on this guy. And I realize snails don't have feet, but that's what we're just calling them. My apologies to the snail world. Okay, tilt 10 pieces up. All right, there we go. I like it. I like it. I like it. Cool down the pliers. They are getting hot, hot, hot. So I'm going to grab this one back, and I think if I get in there, oh yeah, there we go. That's kind of fun. I don't know if you can hear that. That's a very annoying sound. All right, so I was able to really kind of tweak and pull. There we go. Yeah, kind of like that. Really coiled it up a little bit more. Still looks a little ugly, but you know, we're practicing. So, all right, so that one ready to turn around and start working on the rest of it. All right, get a little bit closer here so you can see what we got going on. I'm just going to make a nice tight little twist and squeeze that down. Tight little twist. Squeeze that down. Yeah, there we go. Another little snail. Nothing crazy. Get that cooled down. Well, I'm at least excited. That's, you know, I kept putting this off because the first one I made, it's a struggle trying to figure out what you like and don't like, what works well, what doesn't work well. That little snail. Look at that. How cute. But you know, you gotta, until you start throwing bricks at a wall, you'll never know what's going to happen. So you gotta just start somewhere. All right, I'll try and get a little closer here again. Coil that right up. Coil the second one. Because ideally, that's what I'm trying to figure out too, is how quick could I make these? Because if it takes me, you know, 20 minutes to make one of these. Well, that's not really fun for a kid that wants to see something made before his eyes, you know. So now we'll go ahead and I'll tilt back the antenna a little bit. There we go. Pop that one back in. So yeah, so trying to find out of all the variety of forks I got, which ones work well, which ones are easier or harder, because it's nice having a design on them. Sometimes when you get to some of those bigger forks, they don't really look that cool. And then learn about some of the different materials. I don't know how to tell that. Maybe if I have a magnet, you know, I'll be able to tell if, or some have coated. I don't know. I don't know how to find all that out. I'll have to find a guy that knows about forks, as it were. So here we'll get a little closer again. We're going to just bend forward these little antennae here. Tiny, itty bitty little ones on this guy. Coil you in just a little bit more. It's kind of hard to see. Sorry about that. Need to get some better lighting. All right, there we go. Another little snail. I got 2 more forks. Let's go. This is one that oh man, I didn't even notice that. It is super wonky. Like he got his, oh gosh, oh yeah, that's kind of nice. You can just kind of pop it back. There we go. So that one kind of came out okay. It's got a tight curl on it. And yeah, kind of a cute little deal. There we go. 2 more. Let's go. And then I'll get them all displayed on the anvil. We can pick our favorite one or something, you know. All right, these last 2 have some kind of cool designs on them, so I'm kind of excited about these. Hopefully they work okay. All right. Maybe I'll start getting these. I'll get those displayed in a second. But yeah, we'll grab the phone and we'll pull these out. In fact, I'm just going to step over here real quick. I'll keep talking so you know I'm here. I think I'm going to have to probably bring some real low-grade sandpaper, or maybe like a drill with a little buffing pad on it. Because yeah, there's some of the textures up, and these are some of the better quality ones I can tell. They don't have any of the scale coming off, but the majority of them, because they're just cheap pieces of junk from the thrift store, you got all kinds of the imperfections in the metal coming out. But so I might need to have like some kind of cloth, emery cloth, like a Scotch-Brite pad. It'd be nice to kind of buff that out, and so that way when people take them, they don't have junk all over their hands, you know. All right, last couple here. Let's see what we can do. And I'm going to be a little more proactive and just toss them right back in the forge just to see if just keeping them real hot makes any kind of a difference. I don't know. Like I said, they cool so fast. Yeah, like this one. Oof, that's so thin. I really like the pattern on this fork a lot. Makes me wonder if I shouldn't just use the wrench, or I'm sorry, the pliers, but okay, then maybe that's the trick. So here now, I'll go ahead and maybe start coiling that up. Yeah, see there, you got flat. All right. There's got to be 1,000 different kind of tricks to do this, but there we go. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like that. There's one little kink right here. I wonder if I can get it out. That's not too bad. Kind of like that one. That one's coming out okay. It's got. I like how the spiral's kind of offset and coming in. I like this fork too because it has that little diamond cut right out of the where the prongs are at. Kind of like that. Spin you around. Start working on those prongs. All right. So here, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just keep working with. Yeah, there we go. A little tight. I think I'll heat that back up. I'm just going to pull that curl in there. This one has a really fun pattern on it. All right, let's go ahead and get the old twisty twist. Squash it down a little bit. Try and get this other one done too right away. And you know, those pliers, they're getting really kind of bent out of shape. A little more than they're probably used to. All right, and then I'll quick bend these up. All right, there we go. Got the feet done. Let's work on those little antennae there. Looks like our other one's ready to go. So far, between working with the light steel, it is a bit of a trick grabbing these in and out, that's for sure. So I'm gonna try and grab the inside of that and twist it up and around in there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Not perfect, but that's fine. Let's try and make it a little symmetrical. Yeah, there we go. Probably done a little bit better job in there, but man, they are tricky. You got to move kind of fast, and they're going all over the place. And I touched it a little bit just now. All right, so we'll put that in the other way. Actually, I'm going to cool that off. All right. So this one's about done. Just doing the little pieces here. Tight little turn. Tight little turn. Actually, that came out pretty well. I was going to usually squeeze it, but I don't know if I have. Perfect. Ding it. Let's cool you down. Yeah, there we go. Snail forks, for those of us that are just joining, we're making snail forks for we're practicing for a live event coming up in a few weeks here. And the goal is to have a bunch of big box of forks for kids to come up and, you know, pick their favorite fork out and to come over, and we're going to make a little snail out of it for them. All right, last one. Last one. This one too has those tiny little stubby. I'm glad I haven't had any break yet. I was really concerned that. There we go. So I'm just gonna tilt back the antenna. With as much as I've let these cool down, and that just only goes. I'm displaying my own ignorance here. I have, aside from playing with, you know, bending, you know, mom's forks around in the kitchen when we're little kids, I don't know much about a lot of the types of material. And my fear was when they start cooling down, if any of those, you know, the prongs or everything would just want to snap in half. And I only had one fork so far where it was I don't know what kind of material it was, but as soon as I tapped it, it shattered in pieces. So that is some kind of cast, I think, or something. I wonder if it says. Plus, it turned it like a coppery gold kind of color. So I don't know if this is like a type of silver, or what does that say? No idea. So hopefully I didn't just burn off a really expensive fork right there. uh, wasn't mine. So all right, we're just going to bend the last two antenna here. Get our gas shut off in a second. Yes, on this one too, it's got a lot of um, scale that's coming off with it. So I definitely do want to bring something. There we go. All right, I'm going to cool that down here. Shut our gas off. Okay, I can hear myself think. Uh, yeah, so here's the last one right here. Kind of like how um, it's got a really cool design on the handle of the fork. And so here, I'll get us unplugged here. You can jump over and look at what we made today. Okay, so yeah, I should have kept one fork so we can kind of see what we're looking at, but um, fork without the handle on it. So yeah, so just to recap the goal, I saw another blacksmith online. I wish I remembered I could find his video. I'll have to find it and maybe I'll post that on so we can see what we're doing. But I think I got another truck driver. But the goal is I saw this guy making forks out of, making snails out of the forks. And the idea was like, hey, we have drawers, like at Salvation Armies and thrift stores, just full of these forks that no one's going to do anything with. And so he's just making snails out of them. He's giving them away or selling them. I don't know what he's doing. And I'm like, I have this event where it's going to be right down. Our main drag gets shut down. It's a few blocks, and there's a lot of vendors out. How cool would it be to have a big wooden drawer, full of forks, and kids could come by, they could grab a fork and pick any one they want because there can be all kinds of shapes and sizes, and then we'll make these little snails out of them. So this is one of the first ones. This is a big. That was one of the bigger forks. I think that I like. It's huge. Oh, it's not huge, but it's a nice size fork compared to this one right here. So here I'll get the two next to each other. Yeah, so you can kind of see the difference. But they're kind of fun, The thing I like about with the kids is they'd probably never seen blacksmithing before, depending on where they're from or what they've seen. There's TV shows that have it, but a lot of kids to get up front to see some blacksmithing going on is something they might not ever get to see. It's one of those lost arts. There's a lot of people that still do it because they have to, and people still need certain parts that they can't be they can't be fabricated in any way that's going to make it as strong and dependable. But yeah, so here we have some. It's a short little kind of guy. I had one really fun racing. Oh, here's my racing one. I kind of like that one. Had a cool kind of tine going down the back right there. That was kind of neat. This was one of my other favorite ones too. The handle of the fork has that little boss going all the way down, and it's got a cool little like etching across the back. That's kind of neat. But yeah, so I got a whole table of them. Now we did like 10 or 11 in less than an hour and just playing around. I think I could probably crack one of these out pretty quick. Like I said, I might use just a little blowtorch and get it set up, and that works pretty well. But here, let me just can I spin the camera on? Do people know how to spin the? There we go. Here we go. Yeah, so there's all my little snails. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how I'd really use making snails out of forks in my everyday job, but for me, it definitely taught that. You got to be really patient. You got to learn how to manipulate such small, thin material. You got to be really quick. See, I mean, for me, it's hard to be okay with a spiral that's not perfect. So how can I make that better? Or maybe people will think that's really neat. So another one where it's not like really a perfect spiral, but we'll work on that. It gives me something to work on. That was one of those other big forks. Oh yeah, this one I like too. It's kind of fun. Yeah, nothing fancy. Let's get this turned back around. Yeah, so that's how we're doing today. Today's Tuesday. I'll see if I can't go live again tomorrow. I got a lot of projects I need to get done and a lot more product to sell for this show I'm doing. Right now, I'm just making a lot of fun, cheap stuff like bottle openers. A lot of people around town just want bottle openers, which is fun. So I'm trying to create as many different styles of bottle openers out of large construction nails and just 3/8 by 3/8 square stock. So yeah, I got a lot of projects. Maybe we'll go live and we'll talk through some of the process some more. And I have some other tools I made so we can feature some of those and how we're using them. So all right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Sorry I didn't get through the oh yeah, a lot of people chatting. Sorry, I um, didn't really go through the feed at all, but I just want to try and crank a lot of these out and see what works and see what doesn't work. So, all right, let me just switch back around. We'll show the snails one more time, then I'm going to close out. There we go. Check them. Check them. Snails. Snail forks. They're snorks or something. I don't know. All right, everyone, have a good day. We'll talk.